Okay, so I am spending the day at Red Alder Fiber Festival in Tacoma, Washington. And so I am going to show you guys some of the things and tell you about my day and tell you what we did. Hello and welcome back to the Knit Life Oils YouTube channel. So this weekend I got to go to Red Alder Fiber Arts Retreat in Tacoma, Washington, and I'm going to tell you some stories and what happened. So I live about 2 hours south of Tacoma, which is where Red Alder was hosted and has been hosted for a while. And I've known about this retreat for a while, but I've never actually gone up there. And so this year, some of my friends were going to be there, and I really just wanted to check it out. And my friend Becka from Radiant Beans is a local teacher, and so I wanted to kind of show her around and see what the teaching scene was like there and things like that. So, the day before this, well, 2 days before, we got snow, which is like the one time a year we get snow. And I was really not thrilled about this because I was going to Red Alder either way. I was very pumped about this. And so I was like, ugh, is it really gonna snow? Okay, fine. So we kind of got past the snow. I touched bases with Becca and she's like, no, we'll be fine. Let's go. So, we were talking the night before and I made, my rainbow grid gambit cowl in like a week. And I was like, okay, this is definitely what I'm wearing. And so I was planning on wearing with black top and jeans. And then I was talking to Becca the night before and she's like, you're so much more organized than me. I don't know what I'm wearing. And I was like, do we need to do the black jumpsuits again? We both have black jumpsuits and we think that this is really fun to wear them together. So instead of wearing what I was going to wear, I switched it and I wore my black jumpsuit with my rainbow cowl, which was great. So that was the beginning of Red Alder. And so I got ready that morning. Becca picked me up and we headed north, and about an hour and 10 minutes north of me is a yarn store called Ewe and I in Centralia. And this is my favorite yarn store to stop at when I am driving up I-5 and I have to stop. I didn't really have a reason to stop. My excuse was, Becca, we need coffee. So that was why I chose to stop. So we got to stop there. Margaret was there waiting for me. Margaret is the owner of Ewe and I, and she is wonderful. And she couldn't wait to show me the cat sweater she had made me in my friend Allie's yarn that I had helped her get the last time I was there. And it was super cool to see that. I told her about our new gauge rulers that of course she needs, which if you don't have one, you need to. So, yeah, that was really fun. And of course I took a lap around and I found something that needed to come home with me because I just can't help myself. And so these are the skeins that came home with me. So I am very into the grid gambit cowl right now, and it was so much fun to wear. And it was even more fun to make. So I really want to use this as the contrast color on a grid gambit cowl, and I'll just hold these double. Plus it was only like $18, and that makes me feel like the yarn was half price. So really it was like half price, right? Totally fine. Okay, so we finished up at Ewe and I, and then we drove the other hour north. So we got to Red Alder about noon or so, and this was the time that they were switching classes. So they had like a break from 12 to 1:30, and my friend Xandy was going to be there, and I really wanted to see him between his classes, but that didn't quite work out, and that's fine. So we got there. It was really loud because everybody was out of classes, and this is like a 4-level venue that is all open in the middle, and so it like all the sound just travels up. So we kind of did a lap around. I saw a skein that I wanted from Juni and Si, and so then I got to sit and figure out what I wanted to do with that. But so we chose a table in the middle of all of that by registration, where we could watch everybody, see what everybody was wearing. There was this one lady that had this amazing like rainbow that was like solid color. So it was like red, blue, green, yellow, and orange, and it like was in a V, and it looked amazing on her. And I like saw it coming down the stairs, and I of course had to tell her how amazing it was. So that was really fun. So we sat and hung out for a little while and watched what everybody was knitting, said hi to a few friends that passed by. And this is like forever my new Fiber Festival strategy, because it is so much easier to find people when you just sit down, because then people mingle around you. So, then everybody went back to class and I could hear it change at 1:25, like the volume just completely got quieter. And I was like, oh, okay. And it was so hot. So it was super hot. It was super loud. And then when the volume came down, it was just like, oh, okay. We didn't even realize how much like the sensory was overwhelming us. So we went and had lunch, and the restaurant was completely empty. So that was great because we were just able to calm down for a minute and just kind of regroup. So that was awesome. By that time, it was like 3 o'clock. So we didn't really start Red Alder till like 3 o'clock. We finished up with lunch, and we walked across the courtyard to the pavilion where the marketplace was. And I immediately found my friend Vanessa from Vanessa Smith Designs. She lives kind of in the middle of where I live and Red Alder. And so I get to see her at local fiber events sometimes. And I didn't know she was going to be there. So that was super exciting. I saw her and she like screamed my name and hugged me. And that is like my kryptonite. And it just made my day infinitely better. So that was really cool. And then we kind of went into the marketplace. So I am going to show you around the marketplace real quick. So while we were in the marketplace, I found Michelle Bernstein, who is PDX in Narati, and she is a local teacher in the same area that Becka is, and so I really wanted to introduce them. I met Michelle at Vogue, and I told her that Becka was going to be with me here, and so I was really excited to introduce them so that they can talk about all things local teaching, and they did, and I got to be a part of that, and that was really fun. So it was really cool to hang out with her. And so she has some assigned pooling patterns, and I have this obsession with assigned pooling yarn, except I've never actually used it and I can't really find a use that I need for it, but I really want to learn how to use it. So assigned pooling is where most of the skein is one color, and then like a little portion less than 12 inches is another color, and you use that to dictate where you put a special stitch with that color in the yarn. So she heard that one of the booths had it, and it was Stranded by the Sea. So we went over there so I could see the assigned pooling yarn. They only had worsted, and of course I want figuring weight. So I'm going to order some online, but from her. She has this hot pink and then like a section that's rainbow. And so that's really the assigned pooling I want. But it was so nice to meet her. And we got to do a bunch of things. She had chocolate, and so I got some chocolates for my mom and my sister to bring home for them. She also had a black light that we got to use on my cowl. She spotted it, and so was putting the black light all over my cowl, and that was really exciting. I also spotted Twice Your Cheap Notions in her booth, and it always makes me so happy when I'm not expecting to find Twice Your Cheap Notions, and then I find them. So that was super fun. So then we kind of kept going, and I went back to Juni and Si because I really wanted this skein. So let me show you the skein. So this is Mr. Blue Sky in DK weight. Can you believe it? Actually, I have a plan. So I saw this gorgeous teal when we did our quick lap first thing, and I was like, what can I do with it? What can I do with it? What should I get fingering? Should I get, I don't know. And so as we were sitting at the table, Becca will tell you, I went, oh, and she goes, what? I'm like, I know what to do with it. So, of course, I'm going to make a grid gambit cowl. But I had been looking for something to do with this yarn. I got it from Stitch Stuff Yarn at H&H last year, and it's sparkle. Can you see the sparkles? There you go. And I was trying to figure out what I was going to make with it because I want to wear it to H&H this year. So I'm going to hold it double, and it's going to be the contrast color to this teal as a Grid Gambit cowl, and it's going to be amazing. I'm so excited. And I learned that Juni and Si are also going to be at H&H this year, so it will be the perfect H&H cowl. And that's awesome. It's going to be great. Okay, so across from the Juni and Si booth was the Sea Change Fibres booth. And Vanessa was kind of hanging out over there, and I went over there. And so I have this problem that anytime I see a skein of black fingering weight yarn, I have to bring it home with me. Because black fingering weight yarn is very hard to find. And whenever I need it, I can't find it. However, then when I have it, I find uses for it, so that I don't have it anyway. So that's really not a good excuse. But this is what I do. And it just works out. So this is black fingering from Sea Change Fibres. And actually, watch this, ready? Okay. So the yarn I got from Ewe and I will look really cool as a Grid Gambit cowl with the black yarn. I have to hold them both double, and that's okay. But I think this is going to be really cool too. I think I have yarn for like 4 Grid Gambit cowls. Oops. Well, it's a fun pattern, and I really like it. So, okay. So by this point, there was only like 20 minutes left of the marketplace, and we had to help Becka because she still hadn't gotten any yarn, and we are enablers, right? So Becka was looking at this booth called Fat Girls Fiber, and I was looking with her, and I helped her find some her bright colors that she wanted, and then I saw that there was Misfits. So first of all, I just like the name Misfits. I don't know why. But, so I found this, which is kind of more green than I usually go, but it's bright and I love it. And so, and because it's a misfit, it was half price. It was only $17 for a DK skein. That's amazing. However, then I found a black one. And guess what? It will make a Grid Gambit cowl. And this one I don't even have to hold double. So, these are super soft too. So here, let me hold them close so you can see. Oh yeah. I'm super excited to see those knit up together. I think they're going to be super cute. Okay, so I want to show you a tour of the venue so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. And this starts at the marketplace and kind of goes down towards the lobby. The marketplace had closed and everything was kind of wrapping up. So Becka and I found a spot by the top of the stairs and we sat down and kind of took some pictures of all the things we got. And that was really fun. And then Jean from Juni and Si came and sat and talked with us for a little while longer, and that was really fun. And then Jen from A Little Nitty, she's the owner of A Little Nitty, came and talked to us, and that's always really fun. She's another local celebrity that I like to see. And so We sat and knitted there for a while. I learned that my yarn carousel from Twice Your Cheap will sit and spin on my knee. I was so excited. It made me so happy that it would spin on my knee. I've never gotten it to do that before. And yes, I was excessively excited about this. So, Jen had tickets to the banquet. Becka and I didn't, but that was okay. And I still hadn't seen Xandy though. So we walked Jen back down to the line for the banquet. And sure enough, Xandy was there. So I fulfilled my mission to make sure I said hi to Xandy. And, the first thing Xandy said to me was, because if you remember, we went to Junior's to get cheesecake in New York last month, and Xandy lives on the East Coast. So the first thing he said to me was, if I'm here next year and you're here next year, you have to take me somewhere on your coast. And I was like, oh, well, that's good because that gives me enough time to come up with a place to go because I don't know where we're going to go, but okay, I will figure that out. I'm pretty sure Spaghetti Factory is not what he meant, so we will find a place to go. Yeah, so that is my mission between now and then. So, we kind of wrapped up. We, headed out and we grabbed some dinner before we started driving back. And then Becka and I discovered that we both have an obsession with, Avril Lavigne's Skater Boy album. That's not the name, I don't think, but that's the album, that's the song that everybody knows is Skater Boy. And so we scream sang to this entire album. We didn't even know that we knew most of the words still because this album is from like 2002, and but we just sang to it the whole way home, and this was Becca's favorite part of the trip. I loved it. We had a great time. So anyway, that was definitely a highlight, was scream singing to Avril Lavigne all the way home. So I think that's it. That was our trip to Red Alder. It was really fun getting to see all of the local knitting celebrities. It was kind of a nice middle between Flock, because Flock isn't until August, and we're only in February, so, you know, kind of meet up with local friends in the middle between flocks, which is great. And so that worked out really nicely. I would go again. It was really nice to have a lot of places to sit and knit. That was a huge highlight, and it was easier to find people when you could sit and knit. It was really loud, and there was some sensory issues, with heat and noise and all of that kind of stuff. So, I definitely think that I would keep that in mind. It does seem very class oriented, that there's a lot of classes and people really like taking the classes. So when class is in session, it's really quiet. And so that's really good to know so that you can, know when you want to do different things and when it's going to be busy and when it's not. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed coming along with us for the day, and we will talk soon.